to Finding Calm in the Chaos. I am Denise Sith, and this is my podcast. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to another Finding Calm in the Chaos. I'm Denise. And today we're going to talk about basically deciding your destiny, right? We're always like, karma, whatever you want to call it, right? The idea that, our life is determined by powers out of our control. That's like old news. I mean, it's basically happened that's basically the premise of back to Greek mythology even. I mean, even in, I think, cultures around the world have basically stated that, your destiny is decided for you. And I disagree. And I think a lot of people are proving that today in today's world, and believing that you control your own destiny basically means you recognize your internal power. You take responsibility for those thoughts and actions, and you become unstoppable. And you're essentially then deciding your destiny. So I have a little quote here that inspired me on this. And it was, "The only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be." I'll read that again. "The only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be." Good old Ralph Waldo Emerson. Was that not spot on or what? I mean, when you think about it, it makes a lot of sense. And I've kind of lived through this the last couple years. And as usual, I wrote down, I coach obviously with someone. If you're looking for how to, increase your monetization, learn how to build your business out of your own ideas, doing inner child work, tapping, hypnotism, anything. To me, I'll do anything to pursue my goals and make a better life for myself and my family. And one of the things I've always kind of stayed away from was inner child work. And my coach introduced me to this stuff, and it was like, wow, it was basically the missing link. I didn't want to identify that basically my roadblock to basically deciding my destiny was learning to become at peace and understanding and finding a calm and a resolution with my past. And it's made a world of difference. And I mean, there's tons of people out there. My girl is Charity Schaefer, and her company is Grit to Glory. Look her up, tell her I sent you. But I'm telling you, just following her on social media will make a world of difference and make you think about just your potential in life as a human. It's made a world of difference to me. So I've written down, between stuff I've done with Charity and a bunch of other inner circles and coaching stuff I've done, I wrote down some stuff that basically was like a guide of what has helped me. And so they're basically just 8 things. So, it is what it is, but, is it easy? I mean, you can decide you're going to do your destiny. Like I said, the only person who's destined to become is the one you decide. Can you just decide? Well, yeah, you can, but there's some steps you got to do, right? You got to kind of clean some house. You can decide you want an amazing pantry, but unless you clean it out and get rid of all the crap and fix it up and clean it up, it's still your pantry with stuff in front, right? So the first thing I needed to do that I did, and that will tell you to do, is to accept reality, right? You have to accept where you are and who you are right now. This is hard because I was very not happy with who I was. All right. And there were numerous things that went along with that, but I was not happy with where I am. And you need to understand, you need to be, because if you don't know where you are and who you are, how are you supposed to start? You can't make a plan, right? If you don't know where you're starting from. So it's not a bad thing. It's establishing your starting place. So it's like a good part because you need the point to begin. And that is accepting where you are now and who you are. And also it gives you a little eye opener as to whether or not, like, most likely, like me, didn't want to be there, wasn't happy. But yes, this is the place I've put myself in. And but I'm, by gosh darn it, I'm getting out of it. Then I had to question my beliefs. Now, just because you accept where you are, right? You don't just sit back and, all of a sudden you miraculously show up in your destiny. It just doesn't work that way either, even if you drive a Tesla, just saying. But you have to take ownership, right? Of what you can change and forget about the things you can't. You can't control what other people do and think. You can't control, your boss. You can't control, how your spouse thinks. You can only change your own mindset. This was a big one for me because I'm a control freak. So I feel like everybody needed to think what I did. Why didn't everybody get what I was saying? And if you said it, I felt like I needed to fight you to the death, right? Over talking you. Basically, people wound up agreeing with me simply because I wouldn't shut up about it. Like, okay, you're right, Denise. Oh, okay, I'll stop talking now. Thank God. So you need to question your beliefs because you need to make sure that the way we're going, right? So limiting beliefs, how you talk about yourselves, the negative things, we've talked about this in the past, how our biggest hater is us. We are constantly, multiple times a day, even if we don't physically speak it, are thinking negative thoughts about ourselves. Oh, my makeup didn't come out right. My hair's crappy today. Oh my God, I can't believe I did that. Oh my God, this is that. You got to put on pants that are a little tight. Jeez, I'm so fat. I mean, it's anything. We don't even physically speak these words anymore, but yet they are constantly barraging our mentality in negative self-talk. And it's totally self-inflicted. That's what we need to stop because that's the stuff that's holding you back and holding me back from controlling our destinies. We need to stop that. And this was a big one for me. And some of you know, and if you don't, you will now. You need to let go of the past because the past is not your future unless you're living in there. And I did for the longest time. So I went through a stage post-cancer where I can't drink. Addiction runs in my body, in my family, and in my body. And I started drinking, and I thought it was because I needed to get out and be social because I was finding myself at home too much. And I was convincing myself all of these things like, yeah, you got to keep going out to that local bar so that, you could be social and not stay home and be depressed. So instead I drank and drank myself into a stupor when I shouldn't have been drinking and made some poor decisions and wound up having to serve 90 days in the county jail. And that was it after that. And I beat myself up. Like I didn't even beat myself up. I abused myself mentally for years after that. And I used to think to myself, I didn't even need jail time because I punished myself more severely than anybody could. And that's wrong. We need to stop doing that. I did my time. I paid for what happened. Nobody died. Nobody got hurt, except for my ego, right? And I'm over that. But I needed to forgive myself. And it took me a long time, but I finally did. And I just always felt like people were judging me, but it wasn't really, yeah, I'm sure there were people that were judging me. I know some people that did, but I only let it bother me more than it should have because I was judging myself. And it kept stopping me from believing that I deserved more and that I could have more. and that the dreams I had to make a change and to make a difference in this world. You know, I survived a terminal cancer. I'm here for a reason. I've made mistakes along the way, but I'm here for a reason. And I truly believe that God has something for me. And I believe that I have found that now. I believe he wants me to talk to people about these things. I believe he wants me to do the books that I'm writing. And those are things that I just feel passionately called to. And I will do nothing now to let anything get in my way, because I have decided that is my destiny and that is what I'm doing. And I need to clear myself of this, and to let go of the past was a big thing I needed to do. So I had to sit down, get in touch with it wasn't even just like I could say, yeah, I'm going to give this to God, because I was having trouble with my spirituality. And so once I became firm and comfortable and at peace with my spirituality and my relationship with God again, then I was able to give it up. And then after that, I had people throw it in my face. And that's a challenge when you've beat yourself up and basically mentally abused yourself for your past incidents. And then all of a sudden you've got somebody throwing it in your face because they're mad at you, or because they wanted to make you feel as crappy as they do. That's where you have to dig deep. That's the test. Did you give it to God? Because I did. And let me tell you, it's a beautiful feeling when someone throws that at you and you're just like rubber and they're glue. You know, it's like, I was like, whoa. Like, I was shocked. I literally was shocked at my own response to it. But it felt good, because it meant that I truly let it go and I gave it to God, and he's got it, and he's forgiven me. And more importantly, I've forgiven me. And so now I can move on. That's the end of that, right? And once you do that, then now you've cleaned up inside, right? Now you got to clean up outside and start looking at your relationships, right? So they always say, I've said this a few times too, you are the average of the 5 people that you hang with. So if you want to be a higher average, you got to start cutting ties. And I know that sounds horrible, but people outgrow people. And if you want to grow and you have dreams and you have all of these ideas in life, you need to surround yourself with people who will build them. You can't keep Susie, going to dinner with her on Friday when Susie just wants to sit at home in the neighborhood and like hang out with her cats, and she thinks you're ridiculous and keeps telling you so, that you want to travel the world. Susie's got to go. It doesn't make her a bad person, but honey, her energy is not close to yours. And so you need to find somebody that is going to match your energy and exceed it. Because you need people encouraging and supporting your visions and your dreams and your businesses and your ideas. Not people challenging you because they are, for whatever reason, just not in a place to pursue or decide their own destinies. That is a fact. Because misery loves company. And your friends are a window to your values and your beliefs, including the beliefs about yourself. So you could do all of the inner work in the world and think you have a plan, but if you're still hanging with the same people who don't believe that, you're not going anywhere. I'm telling you that right now. Been there and done that. You'll go nowhere. And you don't have to leave and make an announcement. You just move on. And you're kind to them if they call you, but you have to cut ties. You just have to sometimes, because they're no longer serving you. And it's not about them. It's about you. There's nothing wrong with them. Their energy's their energy. They're happy with it. They're in it. And it's none of your business if they're not. Your business is you. And if they're no longer serving you and your purpose and your destiny, then you know what? Do you want to feel weighed down? Or do you want to fly with people who are going to lift you? All right. So we'll come back with another 4 right after this little break. Hey friends. friends, I've got a question for you. How much do you love your dog? This was an easy question for me. Lots. As I started to look at the ways I could increase her quality of life, I realized there were just too many options. How was I going to choose? That's why I partner with my friends over at Pet Matrix. Taking a scientific approach, they combine organic, natural compounds with highly effective peptides to aid in my dog's health journey. All you need to really know is that the results are nothing short of amazing. All I had to do was sprinkle the dry formula onto her food once a day, and I've got my Shiba back. Our Princess Shika has been using these products for more than 6 months now, and Pet Matrix has given our 14-year-old Shiba Inu the energy back in her stride. She's out in the yard taking steps in a single bound and chasing down the bunnies. I also shared Pet Matrix with my mom to help with her 15-year-old Chihuahua Molly. And like a lot of dogs, Molly is tightly wound like a rubber band when it comes to fireworks. Adding a little of the Pet Matrix Calm to her water every morning gave Molly her first 4th of July without the shakes and crying. And that's what we want for our dogs. Pet Matrix helped me understand that building around the 3 pillars of health, immune and gut support, cognitive function, and mobility and inflammation, we can not only increase their quality of life, but also increase their quantity of life. Shika and I are all in. You can check out Pet Matrix at www.mypetmatrix.com and tell them Denise sent you, because we love family-owned businesses. You will receive a 15% discount using promo code Denise15 at checkout, so you can help your furry babies be all they can be. Again, that's www.mypetmatrix.com and receive a 15% discount with promo code Denise15 at checkout. DENISE 15. All right, we're back. Oh my gosh, I just love my friends at Pet Matrix. If you guys have not yet checked them out, literally their products are top notch, and they are so informative on just more than just supplementation with regards to our little furry friends. So if you aren't checking them out, go check them out on their social media pages at My Pet Matrix, and they go live every Wednesday, and they just give you just loads of knowledge about just how to give our pets, because we love them, right? The best life that they can have. And I just love them. So we're talking about deciding our destiny today, okay? So we went through some things about how, like, you got to accept reality. You got to question your beliefs. You got to let go of your past, right? You got to explore your relationships, right? You even maybe cutting ties, right? Most likely you're going to. And then doing that, once you've done those, they kind of just all trickle into place here, right? It's kind of like a stepping stones. You need to reveal your driving force, because your relationships provide clues to your driving force, your relationship with yourself and your relationship with other people. So it's ultimately the reason you do the things you do, right? Certainty, significance, variety, connection, loving, growth, contribution. These are things that are like human needs. Okay, those are pretty common, right? They're discussed in tons of self-help books and all of that. We need these things, all of them at a certain level, but we have to have one top need that drives us more than others, right? Our why. Because when you look at your life in this context, you're able to more successfully control your destiny, because you're going to recognize and fulfill your needs in a positive way. And it's just important that way. Number 6, you're going to face your fears. Now, they'll say it a million times. Anybody you're following that's doing positivity and self-growth and encouragement and business building and all that, they'll tell you that just on the other side of fear is everything you've dreamed of, right? But this is the thing. We can't demonize fear, okay? Because it's a natural survival instinct, flight or fight, right? You're going to fight or you're going to flight, which is fear. But it doesn't always serve us to do that. Either one, right? You don't always want to fight either. But they could be good and bad, right? A good fight can get you somewhere, but a fight at the wrong time can bring you back a couple steps. It's the same with fear. Fear can be detrimental, but it can also help motivate. It just depends on how you look at it, okay? So, but if you're living in fear, you can't ever truly realize how to control your destiny, okay? Because to be your best individual self, you need to realize the unlimited potential for your growth. And in order to do that, you have to learn how to use fear and instead of fear using you. Does that make sense, right? It's there. It's not going anywhere. It's literally part of our biological system, fight or flight. They're not going anywhere. You just have to learn how to use it. Use it instead of it controlling you. You got to be vulnerable. You got to talk to your partner in life, your business partner, your spouse, your whatever, whoever it is, right? You have to take the steps that start the vision that you dream of. Whatever it takes, you have to start. Whatever you're afraid of, do it today. You don't like to talk in public, sign up for a class. You don't think you can do, videos or, the live videos and whatnot, or TikToks and all that. Do one. They have 15-second ones. You don't even have to be in it anymore. Do a coffee shot. Do a food shot. Do a kid shot. Do a dog shot. Do a flower shot. But just do it. And then as you keep doing those every day, twice a week turns into 3 times a week, turns into 4 times a week. Next time you know, you're worried about ever talking in front of people, let alone live on a video, and now you're like public speaking. That's how it happens. Face your fears. Because on the other side of it, truly, use it to your advantage. And then once you get all that done, right? So you've let go of your past, you've explored your relationships, you're revealing what drives you, and now you're designing your life, right? You've got all this new stuff. You've let go of everything weighing you down, all the stories that didn't serve you. And you've discovered now how to fulfill your needs. You're feeling confident. You're empowering yourself. You're powerful now. Now is time to design, right? You can have anything you want. Think big, man. Think big. I do. Like, what's your purpose in life? Again, find your why. What energizes you? What do you do during the day that makes you happy? There's a reason why they say if you're getting paid to do something that you love and it doesn't feel like a job, bingo. I loved talking on this podcast. I love illustrating and writing the books. And I'm not even I haven't really launched any of this yet on a monetary side. This is the groundwork to get to that. Because nothing's instantaneous. You just have to keep working. You have to keep hoping you're touching people. You have to keep talking and hoping that you're motivating somebody. One person, every time I post a podcast, one person, every time I told myself, I will do this podcast even if it reaches one person, I'm doing something. Because that person will tell somebody. And then maybe that person will tell somebody. And that's slow as poop. But you know what? I'm just here to touch one person. And I will tell you, overwhelming as it has been, in a positive way, I have gotten a message or an email after every single podcast that I've published telling me that I made a difference. And that's all I need to keep going. That's all I need. I'm like, oh, I am so in, because that was my goal. What'll happen next year? I could be talking to literally 15 people for the first 2 years. I don't know, but maybe that 3rd year. And what about that 4th year? What if everybody loves my European trip and they all jump on YouTube which, by the way, if you're not on my YouTube, get over there and start subscribing, because we got some big stuff coming up on that channel and you do not want to miss the videos. Because if you think I'm funny with audio, you should see us all on film. So design that life. Design it. Know why you're doing stuff. Envision the life that you've always wanted, filled with the passion that drives you. Make it extraordinary. You decide your destiny, right? You get to design it any way you want. Think big. I did. Think big, think big, think big. And then reset your focus, right? So Tony Robbins is quoted as basically saying, like, whatever you consistently think about and focus upon, you move towards, right? So think about that. If he's not the only one that said it, but think about that. Whatever you consistently think about and focus upon, you move forward. So what if you're like thinking about negative stuff? You're moving forward, right? Face first into negative stuff. But if you've followed all these steps and you've really you're really cleaning house and you really are hyper focused and you want to start making some leaps and bounds, once you've designed your life, you have to put all your energy towards achieving that life. You can't sit back a day. You can't stop. And that is the difference. That is the key one. You do all this work. And I've heard this by many people, having been in the network marketing industry. Oh, I've done all that self-help and self-development. You always get into a certain point and then nothing happens because you're not doing it every day. You get complacent. And I'll tell you this, self-development is a fickle thing, because when you do it, you get so excited about it that you almost become cocky. Sometimes you get condescending. It's like a stage, right? Then you feel unstoppable. And that is when it gets dangerous, because either you feel unstoppable and you don't stop moving towards it. You're constantly hammering away every day, doing something, meditations, manifestations. You're writing down your gratitude every day. You're writing down goals, or, right, you get complacent because you've done so much work and you're in such a better mindset. Sis, I am in a way better place. People aren't going to take me down. And then all you do is post about shit about how you've like done all this stuff, but you're not doing the actual work. You've stopped. And I'm like, okay, great. You're in a better mindset. Okay, how do I know this? I am not talking down. This is me. This is me. She is me. I'm that girl. But you don't do the work. It doesn't miraculously come. That's the hard part. Starting to actually do it. People think self-help is hard. Self-help is it. See, the thing with self-help is it's a realization that you effed up and that you made turns down roads that you shouldn't have. Oh, I wasted time. I shouldn't have done that. I was in that relationship for 10 years. What a waste. Not really, because you've learned some lessons from it, I hope. And if you haven't, start digging into that, because there are some lessons there. And when you get complacent and you're laying too bag in the past, and then all of a sudden, like, you do a few things to empower yourself, and then your body, see, our body is filled with habits, especially our mind. And when we fall complacent into these habits, one day is not going to make a difference. I deserve today off. All you had to do was make one phone call. All you had to do was make one graphic. All you had to do was write 3 pages. All you had to do was design 3 shirts. All you had to do, pick what you want to do. And you make an excuse because you're going to fall back on old habits, because old habits are hard to break. You must do them every day. You got to reset the focus. If you're not focusing every day on the new thing, your mind will come back in with a bad habit and it'll snatch that. And you got to keep doing the new good habit to erase the bad habit. Because I will say it once and I'll say it again 6,000 times, 6 million times even. I will talk it till I'm blue in the face. You can easily turn bad habits into good habits with repetition because they're the same thing. They're habits. They literally take the same amount of energy. I wish I was joking. How many times have you not done something you knew you were supposed to do for whatever reason? And then all you did was think about how you shouldn't have not, and you're going to pay for it later, not doing it. Hello. Then just do it. Because we literally concentrate the same mental effort in not doing it when we should have just done it. And if you literally time block that you're actually going to do these things and you do it, here's my thing too. You can't, and I've done this. You cannot just say, you know what, I'm all in and spend 8 hours at your day, like just hammering away, ignoring your friends, ignoring your family, your kids on YouTube. I've been there and done that as well. Time block what you're going to allow for your business, what is necessary for you to do during the day. If you're doing social media or your business requires things on social media, make sure your page is set up so that you can post ahead of time. Make it a business page. If you have a personal page, don't be like, especially if you're network marketing, you don't need to hammer people every day with your product because I guarantee you, nobody is following you except your team when you do that. Period. Nobody does. I will fight you. You will never talk me out of this. You are not having anybody follow you if you are hammering people on your personal page with your products. If you have your own business, different, okay? When my podcasts drop, I do post it on my regular page. However, I have a business podcast page and all of it is set up ahead of time. So there's not thinking. I was like, it's too much work doing this and too much work. No, you're making it too much work, or you're not understanding how you can streamline the process because you're trying to talk yourself out of it. And the whole idea is we're deciding our destiny, and we can't make it happen if we're not doing the work. We have to make time for it. You don't have to kill your whole day doing it, but make time block, get it done. And if you're resetting your focus properly, you're going to meet your goals. You're going to see quantum leaps. I carry a little card with me. I have no idea how many people are still doing this in my inner circle with Charity Schaefer, but she had us do manifestation cards. And essentially, we went, I think it was 3 months at a time. We did 3 months of what we would like to be making per month. I have redone my card 7 times. Now, I just got crazy because now I'm looking at my husband. I'm like, I'm going crazy with this number because why not? If we were able to manifest 6 different times a monthly amount, I'm going all in. And you need to go all in because you're worth it and your ideas are worth it. And you are worthy of living a life of being happy, doing something that makes you happy, inspiring, touching others, whether it be a product, talking, a service, it doesn't matter, but you have it inside you. You know it, you feel it. And I'm telling you, if you feel that spark, if you know it's there, don't bury it. Pull it out. Pull it out and let everybody know what you're doing. You're going to love it. Until next time, lead with kindness. Thank you, friends, for spending this time with me today. If you found some calm listening in, please take a moment to subscribe to Finding Calm in the Chaos. And just so you don't miss out on future episodes, make sure you're receiving notifications. Thanks again. Until next time, lead with kindness.